we go. Welcome to another episode of Aftershocks at AftershocksTV.com on the CMS Podcast Network. And joining us today, we got the guitarist from New Jersey, hard rock heavyweights, Weapons of Anew. And he's here to talk a bit about the band's new single titled Sick Boy that's been all over the rock charts throughout the whole month of November. Mr. Freddy Ordine. Freddy, thanks for coming on. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Doing great, man. Thanks a lot, man. Well, let's talk about the new song, man. Sick Boy. I mean, it's the first track you guys released since the 2017 stellar debut, man, The Collision of Love and Hate. And, the interesting thing about the track is that it's a cover that was originally performed by electro pop outfit, the Chainsmokers. Definitely something way outside of, what you guys are known for playing. So I guess first off, just talk a bit about, what made you guys pick this particular track as the band's first cover song and the first, release track since 2017.
We had been going back and forth for years on doing a cover.
Okay.
And dude, I didn't want to do anything that anybody, one, would expect us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like to do like a Van Halen song. Like, dude, you're not gonna out fucking do Van Halen at Van Halen. Van Halen.
Sure. Yeah.
So I didn't want to, I didn't really want to do anything like that. So at rehearsal, at like sound checks and shit like that, we would throw around like Michael Jackson tunes, Stevie Wonder tunes, James Brown tunes, like something completely out of our realm, and just nothing really struck and like really stuck with us. While we were recording the new record, probably like November of last year.
Okay.
I had heard the song and I was like, man, this fucking song is so relevant now with just the lyrical content and everything. And I said, and the groove to it's pretty dope. Like, I think we could do something cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked on the whole arrangement without it, like even telling the band. And I brought it to the guys once it was done. And I was like, what do you guys think? And everybody loved it. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't think they were going to like it. And
Sure.
So me and Ray got instantly on the same page on it. And we finished it up and there it is.
Fuck, awesome, man. Well, yeah, like you said, it's definitely a track, man. It's taken off really well right now. I mean, it was the most added new rock song on Billboard earlier in the month. I think you guys were even in Billboard, top 40 for that track as well, right?
Yeah, we hit 40. This week, I think they're saying we're going to be 38. Last week, we hit 30 on the. There's another chart besides the rock chart. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But we hit 30 on that. So yeah, man, it's fucking incredible. Like,
sure, man, I know, right?
It's nuts, dude. Every time a manager calls and he says, "Hey, you guys are at this number," I'm like, "Dude, it's Freddy. Like, do you realize who you're calling?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm talking about you guys." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
You got to pinch yourself, I'm sure, a lot of times, right? When you hear that, man. Yeah.
It hasn't really sunk in. It's unfucking believable. I mean, when you're a kid growing up, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a song on the radio or something like that. And, as you get older and you're in a metal band, you're like, yeah, I'm never gonna be on the fucking radio.
Sure. Yeah. And then here you are. Hell yeah.
We are, man. So it's God willing.
Sure, man. That's awesome. Well, I mean, also one of the reasons for doing the song, I mean, that you said you brought it to the table to the rest of the band, did it have anything to do too with the fact that you may have also wanted it to be maybe for more of a, modern or, youthful sort of band in perspective in a way to try to connect to another, like a younger audience rather than doing a conventional, cover of an old metal or hard rock track, something that seems like everybody else does?
100% we did.
Okay.
It was just to kind of open up the demographics. I mean, we looked at, I looked at a couple things. I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, that's a massive song. They had 260 million streams on it.
Sure.
And to them, that's like a small song. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like if we had 260 million fucking streams, like,
sure.
Totally. So I looked at that. I was like, wow, man, even if like we get 10% of that, like we're still fucking eons ahead of where we'd ever been.
Sure.
It just turned out really cool. The Chainsmoker guys, they heard it, they dug it. They were actually really into us doing it for radio because they really wanted to make it one of the singles off the last record.
Okay.
And I guess the label just told them no or didn't really push that hard on it. So when they found out we were doing it, they were super stoked about it. So that made it even cooler for us,
Sure, yeah. No doubt, man. And you guys also added drummer, extraordinaire there, Chad Ziegler from he played with Black Star Riders, Breaking Benjamin, Black Label Society. I mean, talk about his addition and what does he bring to the table that may have been missing prior to his arrival?
Dude, Chad's just a solid guy. I mean, just on a personal level, it's like he's been around us forever. He's a sweetheart. He's got no ego. He's always eager to work. He's probably the hardest working one out of us, believe it or not. I mean, he gets into rehearsal and the fucker just wants to play and play and play. It's like, all right,
Nice.
Chad, like, we're good, dude. And then just like his swing, you know, the way he plays drums, like he's not like a normal just beat on him drummer. He's really musical, you know, like he
Sure.
really. It's crazy to see it because, you know, being a guitar player, you're all about notes. And having a drummer that understands like that his cymbal is tuned to this note or that his drum is tuned, it's incredible, you know. So it's really cool. I love
That's
having
awesome. Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. You know, one of the first things I noticed, man, when I heard, you know, Weapons of Anew, when I listened to the collision of love and hate, you know, I gave it a good, solid listen from start to finish, a real deep listen. And what it really that came out to me was that it really does have, you know, its own unique sound and style, your guys' sound. And if you're a fan like I am, of, you know, of a variety of different genres within rock and metal, I mean, this is definitely right up your alley. And, you know, you guys have done really what a lot of bands, pretty much, I mean, most bands you hear, they always strive to do and claim, which is, you know, that many don't, which is that they try to incorporate different influences and elements from different, you know, genres within rock and metal to create something that's own and unique. You know, everybody tries it, but very few to me succeed at it without it really sounding the same as other sounds. So when it comes to like the songwriting process with you guys, with the band, I mean, are
Thank
you
you for
able? Yeah. Oh,
that's a huge compliment, man. Thank you. Not a
no, it
lot of
really
people.
is, man. It's. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I mean, it really is, man. It's so. You guys definitely have your own sound, and I mean, you know, I think. I mean, when it comes to songwriting with you guys, I mean, is it something that you sort of, you know, basically, I guess, you know, intend on doing? Do you sit down and say, I want to take some sounds from this and that, or is it really just how this stuff is naturally coming out of your guys' instruments?
It's really how it is. Me
That's
and Ray
awesome.
do, you know, up until this point, me and Ray do 99 point. We do all the writing.
Okay.
It's, you know, so like I'll come up with a riff or something like that, and I'll kind of store it until
Mm,
it's time to start writing for a new record, or you know, we kind of want to start working on new ideas.
mm.
And most of the time, man, it's crazy. Me and Ray can get in the room, and within a couple of hours, we have a finished song.
Wow, nice.
So it's, you
Okay.
know, we just kind of connect on that level. He really feeds off of me, and I connect with him. It's pretty fucking incredible. You know, I've played with a lot of people. I've never had that connection with somebody. It's the same with him. So it just
Mm,
happens. It just kind of comes out of us. We don't put a lot of thought into it. It's
okay.
you know, whatever we're going through at that moment in time. You know, at that point when we're writing the song, that's exactly what comes out of us.
Very cool. Nice, man. Well, I mean, you guys, you know, the funny thing is too with the band. I mean, you guys really have quite the history of more of a
We're old
heavy-handed
school.
approach. Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, thrash, good old, you know, heavy ass, you know, hard ass metal, man. And you know, and Ray, of course, he was with Spread Eagle back in the day in the early '90s, you know, late '80s there. And but this, like I said, obviously this band is definitely way outside those boundaries, and especially with Sick Boy, it's definitely pushed the boundaries even, you know, further. I mean, were you guys just at the point, you know, in your career where it's like, okay, you know, we've played this stuff over and over, a lot of the heavier thrash stuff, and we want to just kind of maybe go with a more simplistic and catchy approach than what you've, you know, did with your previous bands? Is that sort
Yeah,
of, yeah,
that's I mean, when we started Weapons, it was we didn't want to sound like Spread, and we didn't want to sound like Hate My Old Band, and it was,
yeah,
you know, let's kind of take things that we went through, and we'll definitely use them to draw off of, but let's sound like us. Like there's no rules. There's no
mm,
like we're a metal band or we're a rock band or we're, you know, whatever. There's none of that shit with us. It's whatever we're feeling, and just let's, you know, throw down and whatever comes out of us. I mean, dude, it's like fingerprints. You can
sure,
have me play a jazz song. It's gonna have a fucking heavy vibe to it. It's just in my
good point.
DNA.
Yeah.
And dude, honestly, that's what I loved about Ray's voice. When he first got brought up to me, I was like, dude, I don't want to play with this guy. This guy used to wear makeup and shit. Like, fuck that. I
Sure.
don't want that. And
Uh,
then once I really got to know Ray and get in the room with him, dude, he was so not that guy. And that's
mm,
honestly, I think his voice is what really sets us apart, or it helps to set us apart. I mean, his voice is really unique. I mean, when you hear him sing, it's like,
it is.
wow, that's the dude from Weapons. And you don't automatically think back to, wow, that's the guy from Spread Eagle, because he sounds
Mhm.
way more modern.
Sure.
So you just think of that's the guy from Weapons. So
Yeah.
I'm
No.
lucky.
Yeah, I agree, man. It sounds. I would never sit there and have thought when I first heard it that yeah, it was Ray from Spread Eagle. I totally agree. He's got such a unique voice, man. I go so well with the music you guys play. I mean, when you do play, especially with your guitar, has it been challenging for you just to tamp it down, just to, you know, a bit from what you were so used to doing, or you're
Yeah.
just at that headspace where you're just like, well, I'm just not there anymore, type of thing.
You know, I find sometimes like when we're in the studio, I'll go back and listen to something, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking just total noodling. You know, I got to
Yeah.
chill out. Working
Okay.
with Freddy, our producer,
Mm.
he's a lot more modern. You know, he's worked with bands like Seven Dust, and
Yeah.
he knew for Breaking Benjamin, he assisted on those records. So he's more from the new school kind of rock approach. He's a phenomenal musician,
Mm.
but he's great at reeling me in. You know, when I really start getting into crazy riffs, there's some badass riffs on the new record. He let me get a couple in there.
Nice.
But he made it to make sure that it was more about the song instead of guitar La La Land or any kind of crazy shit.
Sure. Mm.
It definitely helped a lot. But I mean, now like when I write solos and stuff like that, it's more, you'll hear it on the new record. It's more about the melody and really kind of trying to compliment Ray or compliment the song.
Sure. Awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk about the new record. I mean, obviously we've got Sick Boy, the single out, but I did read, yeah, that you guys, I think it was sometime even last year, you guys had been in the studio, working on that sophomore release that was supposed to come out, I believe, in 2021. I think
It
you said
was
you're with Mike for Freddy, and you've also got David Benedeth. I think it was working with you guys.
yeah, Dave
Um,
mixed it. Papa
yeah,
Bendis is awesome, dude.
yeah,
He's a trip. I love him.
awesome, man. It was a two. I mean, it was a two really high profile studio guys too, man, at East Coast there. So that's a good team you got there for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we're I mean, dude, beyond fucking lucky. I mean, Ray says it. We stayed in the game long enough, so it was bound to good people come around us.
yeah.
So it just worked out great. I mean, we got new management in January of last year, and
Mhm.
it's been a huge difference. I mean, he really straightened out a lot of the shit for us. He took so much pressure off of us to have to be the band guys plus the business guys. He took so much off of us, and I mean, instantly things just started to fall into place. New drummer, new new radio team, new record company, new
Mhm.
distribution, new, like, everything kind of just made it easier for us.
Mhm.
So we've been
Yeah.
super lucky.
Very cool. Now, in terms of like distribution, I did see you guys. You were Symphonic Distribution, which is a digital, obviously distribution company. So many bands and artists these days that are choosing, really to go that route and release more, maybe a single with a video like you kind of did with Sick Boy instead of releasing a whole record. So what's your guys' approach? What are you going to take when it comes to releasing the new record? Are you going to do it with singles with videos? Are you going to release the whole album? I mean, how do you guys plan on doing it for the next
Um,
record?
so we have kind of like a unique deal with Symphonic.
Okay.
I guess it's, like, for lack of a better term, like a hybrid deal.
Okay.
Jason Jordan, who used to run Hollywood Records and sign Breaking Benjamin and all them, he's our guy. He
Mm,
heard the band and instantly wanted in with it. So we kind of have a really cool kind of open door policy relationship with them. I mean, they've been really good to us. Um, the plan originally was for the record to come out in September. That just passed. The
oh,
record's been done since June,
oh, wow.
and
Okay.
with all the shit going on, we were like,
Yeah.
let's put a single out and kind of just see where the world goes.
Mhm.
And honestly, I mean, the way everything's looking right now, it looks like we're going to probably do one more single in February,
Okay.
roll that until the world opens back up, so we can actually support the record. We don't want to just throw a record out and be like, all right, cool, the record's out. Like, we
Sure.
don't want
Yeah.
to. The record's really strong, so we kind of
Sure.
want to give it the space and time to actually grow.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I'm thinking is going to happen is, Sick Boy's going to take its cycle. I think they're saying to like January or February.
Okay.
Then the second single will come out. We'll work that. Probably same thing, 3-4 months. Hopefully by then everything will clear up. We can drop another single in the record at the same time.
Very cool.
So
Okay.
that's the plan anyway. But who the fuck
Sure.
knows?
Yeah, I know. Who knows at this point, man? I totally, man. Well, what are we expected to hear, man? Along in terms of music, are we going to hear more of like stuff along the lines of Sick Boy, or is it going to continue to have a lot of the same things in the last record?
No, I think it's kind of like a mix between those two, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
okay, cool.
The band definitely grew up a lot. We toured a lot, and we really took a conscious direction of where we wanted to go. Chip, who was our PR guy at the time, Chipster,
Hmm.
he spent a lot of time up in the studio with us and really kind of said, like, you guys are a great band. You guys
Hmm.
kill it live. Let's get the songs a little more structured for radio so we can really take this thing over the top.
Hmm.
And he would come up to the studio and tell us straight up, like, no, yes, oh yeah, that's something there.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because we would have been happy with one or two singles off the record, and everybody seems to think we got 5 or 6.
Wow,
So
very
yeah,
nice,
so
man.
we really put the work in. So it's it definitely sounds like us. I mean, it's definitely us. I mean, to me anyway. And
Yeah.
everybody says they definitely hear some of the first record in it, but it's like a more mature version of it.
Hmm.
Definitely a lot more melodies, and just better song structures, I think.
Sure. Okay. Awesome, man. Well, let's talk just real quick about, yourself. I mean, you took a loan break, from music, from the business since, Havocate, disbanded some years ago. And, so what was it really that initially brought you sort of back into the music world, to the fold, when you started with this band? And I mean, and if anything, have you taken, things differently, a different approach to what you're doing now, not just musically, but just in terms, whether it's business wise or just the way maybe you mentally prepare for everything? Are you taking it a little differently this time around than you did, the first go around in the music business?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I was, I like to party a lot back in the day. So, I'm clean now. So, I mean, that's a huge difference. I'm 100% sober now. It's been a year. Halloween was a year.
Nice.
Drank it crazy, but it needed to happen. It was time. So, I'm just, I'm a different person from them. Like, I'm more focused. Sure. I'm more, I think, a little more laid back, where I can, kind of roll with it a little bit. Back with the hate stuff, we were a fucking nutty bunch, man.
Yeah. Sure.
So Weapons definitely had some of its moments too, and it's, we kind of focused up and really got it together. So I mean, it's, we brought the experience of doing it before to this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as we've gotten a little bit older, it's, and having the right business people behind us makes a huge difference. It's like we don't have to worry about the shit. We know it's being taken care of. Like, I know 100% without a doubt in my mind, like, our management, if something needs to be addressed, like, he's all over it before I even know about it. Most of the time, he won't tell me about something until it was an issue, he's dealt with it, and then he's telling me the outcome of it. So it just makes life so much easier for us, and it's so much better for the band too. Me and Ray are getting along better than we ever have in our lives, because we don't have to deal with all the other bullshit. We could just be us together. So it's been great.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, that sounds great, man. So I mean, in terms of obviously, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen now. Like you said, the new record's going to come out sometime, early to mid next year. What is the plan? The plans now? I guess you're just going to kind of, wait it out. Would you guys postpone the record, you think, again, if live music doesn't come back in the fold? Or are you going to put it out regardless? What do you?
I think we have to. I mean, I think at that point, I think we just keep kind of putting singles out and just keep building on radio. We've been really lucky. I mean, we've had success at radio. I think if we weren't getting success, we'd probably have to go back to the drawing board and see what the hell we did wrong and kind of fix it.
Sure, yeah.
On the fly. Not to say that couldn't happen on the next single. Who the fuck knows?
Sure knows. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So provided everything kind of keeps going on the upward motion, I mean, it's a good place to be. The band's growing, the fan base is growing. We see it every day. Our streaming numbers are growing. So I think it's worked to our advantage a little bit. And then to top it off, we're a pretty sick live band too. So once we can kind of put all this together, we're hoping, we should be able to catch lightning in a bottle. So it's, I think we owe it to the record to kind of just hang in there and just, like I said, just be patient,
Patient, yeah.
With age comes a little bit of wisdom, they tell us.
True, yeah. That's true, man. Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Well, why don't you go ahead and just, Freddie, go ahead and just give everyone the plugs on where they can, find, the music. Obviously, Sick Boy's all over YouTube. It's all over the, the video sites. Go ahead and give the plugs to the listeners where they can check you guys out.
I'm the worst at this shit, so I don't know. I don't know our actual addresses. I know we have Facebook. I know we have Twitter. I know we have Instagram. We have YouTube. Spotify's a big one. I mean, that's the one I kind of pay the most attention to. So I mean, definitely stream it on Spotify. The videos, YouTube. Let's check it out.
All right. Well, awesome, man. Well, Freddie, man, thank you so much. And for everyone else out there, go ahead, check out Sick Boy, the new single from Weapons of Anew. And yeah, look forward to hearing, the new record, man, and definitely look forward to seeing you guys live when that comes, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm going to send Chris a link for the download on the record. Just don't share it. It's for you guys. So you check it out and let me know.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Can't wait to listen, Freddie.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate it so much, man. Have a good one, man. Take care. Good luck with everything. Thanks for listening to Aftershocks. For more episodes, go to our website at www.aftershockspodcast.com. Visit us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more news and information on the podcast. And be sure to subscribe, listen to, and review all episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. For your music listening pleasure, visit our website or go to www.shockwavesradio.com. For all comments and questions, please email us at info@aftershockspodcast.com.